All right, y'all. This is for my earth elements. This is my Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus crew. All right, we're going to do a shadow read to figure out what your shadow wants you to know at this time. What does your shadow want you to know? What is the messages for the shadow self? What does your shadow self want you to know for the air? Ooh, I said air elements. I just did it. I just did a one for the air elements, but this is for our earth elements. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. We got face your adversities. Oh gosh. Oh Lord. Being the Capricorn woman that I am myself, I see. Express your joy even in the adversity. God dang it. All right. I see what's going on here. All right, let's see. One more, please. All right. So, automatically, I'm getting the energy of not wanting to change. Like, all right, we got face your adversities. We got express your joy and then reach for the stars. So this energy is like with speak up at the bottom of the deck with have faith, make necessary sacrifices, choose your friends wisely. So what I'm getting though is this is an energy of like feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's almost like stop trying to control a narrative because you don't have the facts of how things are going to move. I just feel this energy of like stubborn energy. It's like you see the challenges, but you need to be able to be in a space of feeling the joy with those, even in the challenges, to be able to reach for something higher. There's a reason why things are happening the way they're happening. And even if you don't see the way of how to get there, it doesn't mean that you can't speak up and say what you want. You can still declare what you want without having the know-how of how it's going to come to be. So that's what I feel. Let's look at the triggers and see what's going on. Because I definitely feel this is a controlling thing of like you not knowing what to do. And I don't know what capacity yet, but I definitely feel like a control thing of like, where are you putting your focus? Find the joy in the things that don't work out according to what you feel like it should be, because it could be a blessing in disguise is what I'm feeling. What are the triggers for the earth elements? Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Okay, I will start an argument with my partner to get attention. What are the triggers for the Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus collective? Even though I'm wrong, I struggle to apologize. I can act resentful and distance myself from people for months without addressing the issue. Face your adversities. Okay. When I feel that I'm right, I become defensive and refuse to listen to other person's point of view or other people's views. All right. So again, this control thing. I become jealous when I don't get enough attention. All right. So this could be you not giving yourself enough love, your own love, right? This is not you wanting people to pour into you, but you not pouring into you is what I'm feeling. So we have the World card coming out for the past. I'm going to get all the cards first, and then I'm going to, for the spread, I'm going to get all the cards, and then we're going to get into the energy. So the past coming out is the World. But this energy right here is like a self-love energy. It's like you want people to love and appreciate and see you, but you're not taking the time to do that for yourself. That's what I feel. So what are the hidden influences? What's the hidden influences? Okay. What are the obstacles? What are the external influences? What's the action or suggestion? Ooh. All right. And what is the outcome energy? All right. All right, so let's see. You have for the past action is the World. So this is telling me that you kind of, I just get this energy of like you go through, I don't want to say you go through people quickly, but it's like you close out cycles very abruptly, especially if you feel things aren't going away. It's like a forward moving energy. Okay, like next, done that, next, it's like on to the next. That's the kind of energy, but it doesn't lend you the opportunity to actually sit with why you're going through the things you're going through. It's almost like you repeat cycles, and it didn't come out in the reverse, but it's like there's this energy of like repeating cycles but moving forward, but you're bringing the cycle with you forward. It's not like you're bringing the lesson but leaving the cycle. You're actually just bringing the whole freaking cycle to the next person. And so you get this like fed up energy. In your present right now, what's showing up is the Lovers card. So this is all about your choice in love, your choice in what lights you up, the choice in what you want. But I feel like I get the energy of you not reaching for the stars in your choices because one, there's a self-value issue. There's like this feeling of not feeling worth it. It's not really it's a self-value thing, but it's more a self-love thing. It's like you don't nurture you. So it's almost like you want everyone to see the value in you, but you're not looking at the value of you on a subconscious. So your shadow self doesn't see the value in you. Externally, you're like, yes, I'm successful. Yes, I'm ambitious. Anything I want, I go after, I get. And my word is my bond. If I say I'm going to do it, it's done. That's the energy. But subconsciously, what's showing up is that that's not what you truly feel about yourself. Especially when you get triggered for attention. It's like your accolades. You want the accolades to show your value because you don't see the value in you now, how you are. And so when it comes to reaching for the stars, it's like, do you reach for the stars for the right reason? Do you reach for the stars because you want that, or do you want the validation from it? There's like the validation piece. You need someone to validate, give me attention, so tell me I'm right, right? You know, like, and if you're not right, it means like there's lack of value, like you're wrong, so now I'm not valuable. It's that energy that's there. Okay. So the hidden influences is Two of Cups into relationships. So again, it's like you're taking past narratives from past relationships, the whole cycle, the whole story, and you're applying it to a new one. You're applying it to anything that you like. So it's almost like if you were successful in like one endeavor with like work, like it could be that you have been successful in your career path, but your relationships are like no good, like where it's always a struggle or a challenge in relationships. But when it comes to like your professional development, you may be on target, and it could be that the professional aspect of you, there are built-in accolades. You get employee of the month, you get promotions, you get recognition, so these things are already baked into the steps of your progression in professional development. However, in relationships, there are no built-in tiers, right? And so you've kind of created this tier of like, well, they'll give me attention. Well, they'll be like this. And then when it doesn't happen, it triggers that you're not worth it, because those tiers that are in the professional world aren't built, because relationships with people are very different and they're very flexible. So you are applying this same standard of hierarchy and of value and of validation to your relationships, which can be murky when they don't align with what your structure is. I hope that makes sense, because that's what's coming through. So when it comes to your obstacles, it's being successful. It's being victorious in the space of relationships. That's the problem. It's like, I don't want to repeat past cycles. I want to move forward. But the problem is, you're not addressing the challenges, right, that face your adversities. You're not facing the adversity. You're moving from the adversity. So it's almost like trying to move forward. It's like running energy. It's like a form of avoiding what's wrong, because you're like, well, I'll just find something right. But if you're the common denominator, you have to sit with you. So that is what's coming through. With the external influences, it's the Eight of Wands. It's the movement. I'm just going to move on to something different. I'm just going to move to this. I'm just going to move. Like, that's, it's like you're running. Start running. Don't run away from the problem. Sit with it. And find the joy in the challenge. If you can find the joy in the challenge, it almost makes it easier for you to sit with it. If you can realize, like, okay, if I don't sit with this situation, I'm going to end up taking this whole situation with me. So this is like learning to take the lesson and apply it, like, as a blessing, right? Like, it's like, let me take this and apply it here. Let me take this and put it with this new thing. You don't have to take the hurt with you. You know, you can actually heal from the hurt, learn from the past, and apply it to the future or to the present. You know, the suggestion action with this action, I can't even say that word, with the Ace of Wands, it's in the reverse. So this is like, the transformation can come, but you got to stop for a minute and do the work. You know, you're never gonna, it's gonna be very hard for you to move forward in a new space. The environment can change, the people can change, but if you don't change your mindset of how you manage and how you deal with certain things, that is gonna always repeat. And so you're never gonna be really you're never going to be like accepted into this new space of being, or this new way of being. There's always going to be that denial, or that space of like rejection, or feeling rejection. And I feel like you have to get hit with, you have to get acquainted with understanding rejection and what it means to you, because you give it a meaning. And I feel like the meaning here is that you're not worth it. And if you change your mindset that rejection is protection and redirection, it makes it more or less harsh. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe those relationships that you were forcing, that attention that you were showering, you are rejecting a part of attending to you. You are rejecting a part of you. What are you rejecting in you that you want someone else to see? Because chances are, whatever it is that you want someone else to see, you're neglecting to see it in yourself. If you love on you, someone else gonna love on you too. It's just how it works. So what vibration are you emitting? Because you're looking for this external validation of like, see me, value me, love me, but are you loving you? Because once you sit with understanding what this meaning is, rejection only has a meaning because we give it that. So what happened in this cycle that made this rejection make you feel unwanted, or less valued, or not lovable, or lovable only as much as what your achievements are? When you sit with yourself and get clear on that, you also have the Princess of Wands, which is about Page of Wands energy. So getting curious. This is getting curious about a new way of being, how it can look for you, because you have the Knight of Swords coming out. And this is usually like quick lifestyle changes. So the minute that you sit with yourself and start assessing more of what narrative and what value do you give these principles of rejection, or people leaving, or of that, what that's the energy. It's like, Why do you need the external validation to validate your worth? And why don't you put a different value of rejection? Rejection could just mean a form of protection for you. Maybe you don't need to repeat a cycle, but here you are choosing to repeat a cycle because you don't want that fear of rejection. So it's really assessing how you assign these emotions. All right, so let's clarify this. Clarify the world. Yeah, okay. We got the Empress coming out. This is all about self-love and nurturing you and allowing things to come to you. So again, this is like there's something in your past that is repeating, and it's lack of self-love. It's not caring for you the way that you should, but having this forward movement of, I'll just go to the next one. It's not about the environment. If you're taking the energy and the narrative of something previous that didn't work for you and applying it to a new environment, that same cycle is going to repeat. Clarify the Lovers. These cards are really like falling on me today. Yes, with the Ten of Swords. So your present action is like choosing. What are you going to choose, right? Are you going to choose happiness? Are you going to choose repeating the cycle of betrayal or of hurt? And this could be, again, in love, in career, friendships, whatever the case is. You know, it could be different for everybody. So it just depends. But these are the themes. Give me one more for the Lovers with the Ten of Swords. Yeah. Are you going to move forward? And then you have this Chariot here again with the Two of Cups. So what is your outlook going to be on the relationships? Are you going to take the lesson and move on? Or are you going to take the whole narrative? Those are the choices, right? You have a choice. You can literally, you can either repeat and go through it again, or you can move forward and say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. So you have to choose how you want to move. So the hidden influences, again, is the relationships. Clarify the Two of Cups. One more. Okay. Yep. All right. Ace of Wands in the reverse, again, with the hangman. So this is like, again, how can you look at rejection? How can you look at something that you feel like you've been denied? Why do you feel, especially in relationships, they're not giving you the attention? Well, that means you're not giving you attention. Why aren't you giving you attention? Why do you feel like you need it from somewhere else or for something else? Why do you feel like you need to be validated? That's this energy here. You know, and then master it, learn it, figure it out, sit with yourself, spend time with yourself. You want someone to date you, date yourself to figure you out, because chances are those circumstances that you've dealt with in the past are not this, they've shaped you. You're not the same person going into those situations, coming out of them. So now get acquainted to who this new person is coming out, and do those check-ins, because that's actually going to fulfill you in a sense of knowing what to reach for when you do reach for the stars. You can never know what you want if you don't sit with yourself to figure out what you want, what you don't want. So this is that. Get clear with you. Clarify the Six of Wands, because this here is these are your obstacles in being successful in love and relationships and understanding, yeah, with your forward movement with the King of Wands. This is like being successful and knowing the direction that you want to move in and having the patience to be able to allow it to come to you. You don't always have to be the one going out and get things. You can just sit and nurture you and allow your guidance, your intuitive guidance, right? What you feel, what feels good to you, come to you. Because you get in this do mode. It's like you make this choice to do, but not sit and receive. Give me one more for the King of Wands. Yeah. Master this, this running energy with the self-sabotage card here, right? And this is a form of self-sabotage when you feel like you're not worth it or your value isn't there. So you try to reach for more accolades to prove that you're worth something. Look at the Queen of Wands coming out, and I felt her. You can attract what you want, but you don't have to put all your energy into being super successful at work that you neglect why your relationships in the past aren't as depth or as deep as you want them to be. Okay. Clarify the Eight of Wands, please. So we have the Emperor and the Empress coming out. We did have the King and Queen of Wands come out. And then we have the Lovers here. Oh, Lord. And the Eight of... You have... Okay. So I feel like... I feel like there has been self-sabotage in relationships that you feel or know are aligned with you. There's an energy, a newer energy of fear of, it's not a fear of commitment. It may have been a fear of commitment, but it's not a fear of commitment anymore. It is a fear of being worthy enough to have the happiness that you want. And burying yourself in work so that it balances off. It's like, well, if this relationship doesn't work, at least I have all these accolades. I'm worth this. I'm valued at this. You have to see yourself as worthy enough to have it because you can have it. It's already there. And you could have sabotaged something in the past because you were trapped in your mind about the idea or fact of someone not loving you or caring for you the way that you felt. And in the past, you may have been that way. Like you could have been rejected, or you could have been overlooked, or someone could have left you, or they could have abandoned you, and you could have felt like, you know, whatever, like no one's gonna care for me, no one's gonna love me, no one's gonna do XYZ. But the reality is you don't feel worthy enough to achieve it or to have it. So because of that, you almost subtly, subconsciously bury yourself in a void. And the minute it gets too deep, it's like you run, or you like, I'm busy, I have to do this, I have to. It's like you're afraid to feel the feels. So you will put your passion and pursuits into work. Clarify the Princess of Wands. And this could have been like a soulmate connection. It could have been, this is because you have the King, the Emperor and the Empress here. So it's twin flame energy. But it could have been an aligned connection. Regardless if it's twin, soulmate, whatever the case is. There's this energy of you bossing up and moving forward because these are your external influences. I'm just going to be a boss. So you tap into this masculine energy and you start going for it. Meanwhile, you long and want for this, but you're afraid of the rejection because you had the rejection in the past. So now you're like, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to go there. And that's what comes out. And I feel this so like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh Lord. Clarify the Princess of Wands, please. Yes. Okay. When you start to sit with yourself with the Ace of Wands, as we talked about, then you start to transform and approach things with a different curiosity. That's when the healing starts to happen. It's like when you make a choice and decide of how you want to apply the idea of rejection, that is actually when the opportunity presents itself for you to heal and look at things differently. But there's this heartbreak that you have to heal from. There's this disappointment. There's this sadness. There's this grief that you have to accept. And to accept what's dying, it could be the idea. Maybe you have to let go of the idea that rejection means that you're not valuable or that you're not worthy. Clarify the Ace of Wands. Why is the Ace of Wands in reverse? overthinking. I'm like, you've got to. So the action is not to overthink so much and put yourself in a mental prison of because you are blocking what is meant for you because you have this preconceived idea or notion of what rejection means. Give me one more for the Eight of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, it's not fulfilling. And because it's not fulfilling, you look for, it's like you're chasing the fulfillment through the validation. And and you got the Seven of Wands here. It's like, it's that resistance. And yeah, because the trigger was, I can act resentful and distance myself from people for months without addressing the issue. The issue is that you don't feel worthy. And so you will resist against it. All right, let's see. What are, let's see some shadow themes. What are some shadow attributes for Capricorn? Look, self-absorbed. Seek to feel what others are feeling and express empathy to others to overcome this. And this is really for that, even though I'm wrong, I struggle to apologize because I was just looking at it. It's like you get so into you that you don't understand, right? Like emotionally overreacting at the bottom of the deck. Okay, sorry about that. I got another call. The life of a mom, I tell you. I'm telling you, you got to be like a million different places at once. But we were getting to self-absorbed and we're getting to the emotional overreacting. So one, it was like with the self-absorbedness, right? It's try to understand what other people are feeling before you're like, woe is me. And then you have the emotional overreacting. So you're overthinking, which causes a flood of, unnecessary emotions. And that's basically the runner dynamic. It's like when you get in that mode, it's like, oh God, I just got to go. And then you have resisting change. Ask yourself why you are not wanting change. Look at the positive side to the changes, right? Look at the positive side to what you would apply to what you feel is rejection, right? Let's see. We've got manipulative at the bottom of the deck. Narrow-minded. You have a limited outlook on perspective and thoughts. What makes you think that what makes you think your thoughts are solid goals? And this is bringing me back to this struggling to apologize, right? Like being self-absorbed. And this could be through the validation of your achievements. Feeling like you're achieving it's just like, it's like this energy of you have to look at things from a different perspective, honestly. Like, it's just, you have to look at things from a different perspective. What value do you put on the situations that you're in? And how do you see it? Like, what do you see in those things? What attribute are you assigning to rejection? What attribute are you assigning to being wrong? What are the messages for the earth elements? What does their shadow want them to know? I have a flipper here. So we've got, you're exactly where you need to be. This is that Empress energy of sitting and allowing it to come. Good luck sometimes comes disguised as bad luck. So this is, again, shifting your mindset, because that breakup may have been negative, or that rejection, right, is actually protection for something else, or redirecting you to where you actually need to be. So learn when to say no, avoid clutter, slow down, and quiet your mind. So this is cleaning out your closet, so that you don't bring it to the next place, because you have travel as much as you can. This will add dimension to your life, and this is what you're doing. You're traveling and you're moving, but you're taking all of the clutter from all of the past stuff that you have not worked through, and you're not cleaning it out. You're taking it with you. I'm hearing Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. So it's like, you're just taking that and bringing it here and there everywhere. You miss the beauty when you are stressed. Be gentle with yourself. Be messy. Sometimes let it go. Let it all go. It's okay to be a mess because you're exactly where you need to be. And where you need to be, look at this. Life will be a roller coaster. Enjoy the ride and stop trying to be in control. Balance all of the dimensions in your life. Like, it's just crazy. And then you got this again. Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Don't delay the inevitable. You're going to continue to have these patterns if you don't align with what you truly want and be still enough to receive it. So you have to change that narrative from the past so that you can actually apply it to your present time. Like, change that narrative. The narrative is not rejection is horrible. No one wants me. That's not the narrative. The narrative is, okay, maybe I need to be redirected to something that's more aligned to me. Then it's better. Then it looks better. It feels better. It feels lighter. So that is what I have for you. I hope it made sense. I hope it resonated in some way. And I will see y'all in the next one.